घर जाके मम्मी पूछती भी थी, भाई अच्छा कैसा रहा दिन, 8 घंटे आप फ्लोर पे खड़े हो. सो दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम एंड आई वाज humbled in my life. In that small screen, how do you sell the world to that customer? Whereas in the store, the customer is overwhelmed with 5 senses. For FMCG, e-commerce is the speedboat because you can do a lot of test and learns, faster, product launches, and also, premiumize the entire way of doing business.
Ma'am, I think it's time to make some difficult decisions. So we are like bleeding out our market share to our competitors.
किसको निकालना है जॉब से यार?
नहीं किसी को नहीं.
टेंशन हो रहा है मुझे सोल्यूशन
नहीं,
सुन के.
Your journey to retail, was it like a premeditated one? Did you think this through when you were in your B school, or you were kind of studying for it? Did you know that you wanted to be in that space, or it so happened that you came to know about it more and then you liked it?
What happened was that I was fortunate enough to get guidance, from my environment, and उस time पे retail was booming. So one of my father's friend who was a professor at that time, he said, मृगांकी retail में बहुत scope है, तो you must join that. Retail में scope है. I was like, अच्छा scope सुनना तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, ठीक है मैं कर लेती हूँ join. And so in that sense, I would say it was premeditated, because I went in to do a specialized program with Birla Institute, and during that I actually studied the curriculum which was not available anywhere, and it helped me to kind of progress from there. It had its own challenges and those moments of realization, like जब वो कोर्स ख़त्म हो रहा था सर्टिफिकेशन का, तो मुझे भूत चढ़ा था कि मुझे सीखना है रिटेल जहाँ पे सब कुछ आता हो, किसी को प्रोसेस आते हो और SOPs आते हो, एंड आई वुड लर्न बेस्ट फ्रॉम देम. सो उस टाइम पे शॉपर स्टॉप के साथ में मुझे इंटर्नशिप करने का मौका मिला, एंड दैट इंटर्नशिप वॉज फॉर 3 months, एंड आई वॉज एलोकेटेड टू डिफरेंट सेक्शंस. तो डे 1 पे मुझे उन्होंने भेज दिया साड़ी बेचने के लिए सत्यपौल की, एंड आई वॉज लाइक साड़ी बेचनी है. And in those moments, in my first day, it felt like यार मतलब इतनी पढ़ाई की थी, मम्मी क्या बोलेंगी. घर जाके मम्मी पूछती भी थी, भाई अच्छा कैसा रहा दिन, 8 घंटे आप फ्लोर पे खड़े हो. सो दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम एंड आई वाज humbled in my life. And from there on, I realized that for any retailer, one has to really go to the ground and lose their ego to be customer first. And I can still sell Satyapal sarees. And then, you understand how to do planogramming, how customer flows through the store, and how do you increase sales by optimizing that.
Right. But, it humbled you, that's one. And what else did it teach you in your life?
So I think what I learned was, and I will talk with respect to the realm of business and जहाँ पे धंधा होता है, the organized part of it. What stayed with me was the structured learning, and how do you process that unstructured environment. क्योंकि उस टाइम पे ऐसा लगता था करना ही क्या है, स्टोर पे जाओगे कुछ चाहिए, वो बंदा आपको बेचेगा सामान, आप लोगे और आ जाओगे. उसमें इतनी साइंस होती है, so much of science behind it is what stayed with me for a very long time. And today if I walk in a store, I can actually look at scientifically and say यार you know what, ये eye level पे है, and इसकी जो positioning है, this is wrong, ये transition zone है, and things like those.
So Mriganki, you were part of both the worlds. So if we are talking about the online retail space and the offline retail space, you worked with brands like ShopClues, you worked with Nykaa, and you worked with again your Shopper Stop journey, where you probably got the first taste of it, right? What exactly has changed in these two spaces? Has the one become the other, or they both have their own set of things that you have acquired over the years, and you see that no, they are two separate entities which needs two specific skills for you to excel?
So I think when I look at online and offline, I see that in a continuum. It did start with the two spaces being separate as an online space, where it was different from offline because what you see were endless aisles and you could show the categories without any limit. The challenge used to be how would you position, because there was no retail person selling you the product. So how does a website talk to that customer, that shopper, and how do you convert them? So from that angle, a lot goes behind it, whether it is digital marketing, and also the layout, the UI UX of the website, and multiple things associated with it. How do you get the traffic on it, organic, and how do you manage your media planning budget, things like that. So when it started, when e-commerce was new, it started as a separate entity. And I believe that as we are progressing, the two worlds are coming together, and it's an omni-channel world. Brick to click, click to brick, these are different models that have come up internationally. India is yet to pick, but I think as our own niche, we've created different markets, inspiration from international market, but I think like quick commerce also is one of those aspects where the kirana store bhaiya would send you the chotu with the products. Now you don't have to talk to the kirana store, but there is a chotu who comes and delivers the product to you. So in that sense, they are two similar, they are now kind of jointed in a certain way. And retailers who are not now online are started to really consider it very seriously. They are creating their apps. If there is merchandise which is not there in the store, one can open the UI UX in the store and can order from there, whether it delivers to your house or you can pick it up from store. So these are multiple ways how it has evolved. And I think the biggest challenge from offline versus online would be that इतना छोटा सा screen है, right? Laptop पे तो अभी बहुत कम shopping हो गई है. Almost 85% of shopping now happens on app. In that small screen, how do you sell the world to that customer? Whereas in the store, the customer is overwhelmed with 5 senses. So converting that into online is the biggest challenge. And now that's a separate story, what online is all about.
Let's talk about that one story that you probably remember time and again. Can be a success story, can be a a heartbreak, can be something that you really put in a lot of efforts, but that did not materialize. And that gave you a lesson about the space in itself.
I think probably I'll quote this one example when I was with Nykaa, and at that point of time, so a lot of FMCG companies were struggling with, how do you kind of make your splash in online space. A lot of D2C brands were coming in. And they were also thinking, how do you get the right product in the BPC category, beauty and personal case, category. And Nykaa was obviously the market leader, is market leader also still in that segment. And the challenge was, how do you get international brand in India? And I was in charge of the account with my team. It was X brand, and the challenge was, how do you cut the clutter and how do you make it success from the angle of creating buzz around it, and the sales will follow, because there was proven success in the UK market of that brand. So for me, it was a success story because what we were able to do is decode how do you get the customer. So there are different aspects of the brand launch. One is how is your assortment, how is your marketing planning on digital platform, how do you have the customer voice kind of built in it, and then later on how do you sustain it with the product delivery across the geographies and where your right TG is sitting and all of that. So it started with the entire planning of assortment. So we studied and analyzed the entire data, on skincare segment on Nykaa. We understood what is the customer is looking for. We married and find out the sweet spot between the brands, top sellers across their geographies. So we kind of figured out the assortment. Then important part was on content building. Like if you have to really establish a brand digitally, the content becomes biggest foundation for that brand as a fuel. Because then it has trigger effect, flywheel effect in ecosystem, because then the bloggers talk about it, everyone wants to talk about something new on the blog, right? So how do you create that content which is not only there in the pages of the website, but also on the social media handle? Because social media handle is the biggest influence today. Whether you look at TikTok, whether you look at Instagram, micro-influencers, affiliates, a lot of these industries have now come up and they have started building brands. So we figured, okay, we'll fly to UK, we'll go and shoot the topical content there behind that you're getting this brand from UK. We kind of reached out to the real customers, the loyal customer base, and we recorded their testimonials, and we actually started posting it on Instagram, and also kind of got that Instagram content on website, so that the 360-degree customer touch points were talking the same thing. When we launched it, the pre-buzz started 5 days in advance. It created hype that it required. And then we were posting content live with the 2 big bloggers, with us, influencers with us in UK. And we actually kind of made it a success, and it became one of those brands that actually had the highest performance on media matrices. And also now that brand is, scaling up. It's quite an established brand in country, and a lot of other companies, P&G, other all J&J, they all also started, taking inspiration as to how do you launch a digital first brand.
Any FMCG brand, they have to now rely a lot on e-commerce as well, right? So we're talking about brands which has amazing distribution, supply chain बहुत strong है उसका, and आप किसी भी गली में चले जाओ वहाँ पे Colgate की toothpaste आपको मिल ही जाएगी, right? They come from that school of marketing and supply chain, and now the shift is happening because of the shift in digital, right? And then probably that's where you fit in as well. So how do you see that for the FMCG companies in general, and how much of that reliance will happen in the future as well?
I think it's a matter of where the customer is going, and all big organizations will follow them. And in India now, though today e-commerce penetration is around 5 to 6%, in next 5 years it will be 10 to 12%. But in terms of spending, this will be very different, and it will blow up, in a different level altogether. If you talk about tier-wise spends across the country, tier 1 metro cities will start seeing almost as high as 40% of their spends going digitally for shopping. So it's not a choice. It is it's a space where FMCG will have to follow, and the brands which have deeper penetration, they get a chance also to leverage how do they premiumize their portfolio. You would be reading in the news, right? Like Nestle people said this, and P&G guys said this, Colgate is saying that they want to premiumize. So the challenges which are there in the delivery, the distribution system, where you cannot push a certain innovative portfolio without proven success, e-commerce gives you that, that playground. So I look at e-commerce, for example, as a speedboat, right? Like for FMCG, e-commerce is the speedboat because you can do a lot of test and learns, faster, product launches, and also, premiumize the entire way of doing business. So I think it's not a choice anymore, and it plays a significant role in terms of how do you show the innovation which happens in big labs the day of light.
You're talking about the tech advancements that are happening. AI probably is integrated everywhere in the systems where distribution is concerned, or production is concerned as well. Like I've seen factories where it's been completely mechanized, the process end to end, right? And a lot of artificial intelligence is also coming at play. So in this regard, how much catch up can big companies do, right? How open big companies or MNCs are to get hold of these kind of shifts that are happening right now?
See, I think in terms of acceptance that they should be doing it, I have started to see that they have to do it. Now the decision they make is that have they reached the critical size or the mass to be able to invest in those spaces and be at par with other organizations. Whether it is back-end supply chain, I think a lot of work has gone behind to be able to match the pace of delivery and the way it is being sold by Quickcom, let's say, for example. So those supply chain mechanisms have also kind of started to realign themselves, whether it is robotics, whether it is delivery by the drones done by Amazon. So from that angle, a lot of development has definitely gone. AR and AI, both these sort of spaces of technology have literally revolutionized the world. AR, for that matter, I'll just give one small example. There are tools which can actually go on the websites and crunch the entire ratings and review of a customer, give you insights for product development, and also tell you that this is the product description which should be going on the pages to increase your conversion so that you are able to maximize the sales on portfolio. Then different spaces, for example, the entire experience of the product. You would see that on Amazon, once you're buying a furniture, they would have this small camera that you can on and then place that product in your drawing room and see how does it work. So it gives you real life experience of those assortments also. So that is where it has gone. Now virtual reality is also being explored, and I think maybe, let's say, in next 5-7 years, you would start to see it coming more closer to you when you start to shop more engaging products which require higher investments and things like those. Whether it is real estate or, let's say, whether it is electronics, you would start to see that coming more closer to home. So yeah, I think from that angle, definitely technology has started to, do a lot of work. Then, what happens is that in terms of processes, there are a lot of processes which goes behind in at least e-commerce, I can tell you. That content in itself becomes a big, huge giant to take care of. And people who manage it, they also have to kind of be at it, like refresh the content and all. So there is this whole different work stream of tools that is being developed by a lot of tech companies. Also dashboarding system which come in where it can be just automatized so that there is a refresh which is happening. And you have no idea what, kind of good content can do to your sales and the brand equity on platforms.
Correct. One more thing probably that you are looking very closely is the rise of quick commerce, and probably it's an important KRA for you to track as well. What is happening in that space that is helping brands like Colgate, or for that matter FMCG brands shifting towards there? Is it giving them wings to distribute their products even further, or is it in any way restricting them from the earlier models?
See, it's not restricting at all. I think it's a good news because what it does is it just shortens your lead time to get to the household. And e-commerce is actually growing at a 40% CAGR, and let's say in next 3 years it will be it'll start to contribute half of the online grocery space. So earlier, I definitely remember conversations with some leadership 2 years ago when we were not sure whether quick com will work because it's such an expensive format to kind of work with dark stores, with delivery boys, and all of that limited assortment. But yeah, I mean, evidence is there. Like you can hear Zomato talking about, reaching a beta positive in next 2-3 years. So I do believe, and in fact for me also, it's a good channel to sell. So from that angle, quick commerce is definitely doing a big advantage, and I'm able to also see that the customer base, because today it's spread only in top cities. Gradually we'll have to see how they expand assortment, how do they go beyond grocery, how do they control their P&L, and then from there if they are ready to expand to the next level of cities while making money. But in the existing ecosystem, top cities or top 30 cities, I do see that it's a big advantage for organizations in FMCG where they get a huge room to play on increasing consumption. And more so for grocery format, because now, let's say earlier I was maybe eating one ice cream in 1 month. Now every second day my husband is asking to get ice creams at home. So my consumption has gone up. So that helps.
Super. Mriganki, maybe you can give them an overview, or I don't know what you have in mind for your case study, so that you can give them a purview of what exactly happens when you plan something like this.
All right. So, dukh, dard, kasht or peeda. This is the case about Zindagi ka dard. Why? Because third time in the row, my team was losing market share. So this third month, I had to go and ask my team what happened. Because we thought we were doing everything right. But this is what my team said, the management. And then I had to go and deliver the news that again in third month, we have not been able to gain back the share we lost. But obviously, I have to save my job, right? I have to go and tell them, पता नहीं कैसे करेंगे पर मैं करेंगे. So, problem क्या है? इतना पूरा ड्रामा हो रहा है लाइफ में, but what is the real problem? The real problem is this. Colgate has been having 50% plus market share on e-commerce, and due to some competition activity, due to high discount, high spend on e-com budget, on media, we were losing share consecutively since 3 months. What do we do now? Constraints, paisa nahi hai. Don't come and ask for extra money on media or on discount. X% milta hai, usme manage karo. So the problem statement is, how can Colgate regain the market share in the face of price war and heightened media activity by competitors without exceeding discounting capabilities and budgets? Because there is brand dilution at stake here. Yeah, over to you guys.
Placement of the SKUs across channels. So I read that in marketplaces, people are looking for new products that are coming in. So any new launches could find their place over there. That is one, in comparison to older SKUs which can find their place in GT and MT. That is one. Secondly, Stanley Cups gained a lot of mileage lately because they began collaborating with not influencers as such, but people who are posting on open accounts about their regular schedules and discipline. Now, since brushing is all about discipline, especially at night, it could be integrated with one snippet of people ordering something online as well using quick commerce. So that could be a brand integration of sorts.
Okay. Sort of influencer, live marketing.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Ma'am, I think it's time to make some difficult decisions. So we are like bleeding out our market share to our competitors.
किसको निकालना है जॉब से यार?
नहीं किसी को नहीं
टेंशन हो रहा है मुझे solution
नहीं
सुन के.
नहीं so we need to seriously consider which brands under Colgate are doing well or not doing well, and something along the lines of the BCG matrix where you sort of identify the stars and the high achievers, so we can strategically disinvest from the brands that are coming to the end of their product life cycle or something like that, so that
Interesting.
we can do something along those lines. Thank you.
All right, so here is what we did. This is the space of digital shelves. What is happening? We are losing share. Shelf पे कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. So you go to the fundamentals. In short, if I say 6 PNA, which is the 5P का equivalent on digital, how is your product available? What is your pricing? Is it showing well or not in comparison to others? How is your content? How is your review for that product? And how are you available in terms of the width of assortment, which you usually carry anywhere? These are the basics that one needs to check. And on thorough evaluation, we found that in this 3 months duration, what happened on quick commerce was कि होली आया था. और अभी जो भी ब्लिंकिट ज़ेप्टो पे आप लोग शॉप करते होंगे, यू वुड हैव सीन दीज स्मॉल टॉपिकल स्टोर्स कमिंग इन. सो एक हाई सेलियंसी मार्केट में दे हैड ओपनड अ दिवाली स्टोर, होली स्टोर ऑन द ऐप, एंड क्वाइटली दे हैड delisted our products. If your product is not there, you will not sell, and hence you will lose share. So that was the first fix that we did. Similar things were identified here and there, little bit on availability of inventory, what we call is OSA, which is on-shelf availability, a critical factor for your business to be developed. So thorough evaluation of OSA levels across all the format of platforms and work towards making it excellent. There were some drops identified and we fixed it. Third thing that we did was we relooked at our media strategy on platform. So there is consumer journey, shopper journey that happens on platform. One is that you go launch the app, you type toothpaste, and then a list comes. So that is the route of search. Other is that you launch the app, you go to that, scroll, and then you see those icons of different categories. You choose the category, click, and then you reach where you want to be and choose a product. That is a browsing journey. So we found that in our own branded keywords, the intensity of competition bidding had increased. Usually we would not spend so much saying कि अरे कोई अगर Colgate टाइप कर रहा है तो मुझे 100 रुपया खर्चा करके I will show my product. We would say ठीक है, organically it will come up. But we realized the intensity of competition had gone up. So we changed our strat for some time and started with defending our branded keywords so that the share is defended and our products keep on showing. Along with it, we did review for the search engine optimization on the products. So what it does is it reads your headings of the product description, and also it crawls the entire description on the pages. So we re-evaluated for the category keywords and we fed the keywords in the description of products. So it helped in optimizing natural, popularity index on platforms. And obviously, see, I said overall budget नहीं increase होगा, but within the brands तो budget हो सकता है ना reject. We reject the brands discount within the budget. A से minus करके B पे डाला था, and we were able to defend from A player, and we are on the back track. We've gained share already from those. So yeah, these are the basics of how we came and gained back the share. Thank you.